The Pikes Peak region in Colorado Springs, the inspiration for America the Beautiful, and truly one of our nation's most picturesque and livable communities. Ours is a city rich in history, a place where constant reminders of our proud past coexist with the excitement of the present and the promise of the future. A town with roots in the gold rush is today home to 500,000 people, a thriving arts community, the Air Force Academy, and other institutions of higher learning, and business ranging from large industrial to small commercial. The fact is, the quality of life in Colorado Springs is as high as the peak that made us famous. It's a lifestyle that isn't going to end anytime soon. Where there's long-term growth, there's long-term work. And where there's long-term work, there's opportunity. We're the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, and opportunity is what we're all about.
With the Union Hall, our benefit package is just wonderful. It's great. You don't have to worry about if you have to take your kids to have dental work done or wife's going to have a baby. You know, those worries are just out of the way. And as far as retirement, the retirement package is great. You have something to look forward to when you do reach that age to get out.
My father was a IBEW electrician for 36 years. So I saw what the union benefits were for him and thought that it would be quite beneficial for me to also enter the program.
Our lifestyle has definitely improved. Before it was a constant struggle, and so much anymore the security, we know we're going to get that paycheck. We can plan more, do more family things. Before it was just making it through the week. Now we can plan things to do on the weekend. And
like Disney World over the summer.
We went to Disney World over the summer. Had a great vacation this year.
Things we never did when we were non-union. It was a weekly struggle from week to week. If you missed 1 or 2 days non-union, you were pretty much in trouble.
You know, if you want to be an electrician, you're going to have to join some group that'll give you some kind of a benefit, so when it comes time to retire, you got something to retire with. And, you know, the IBEW, from what I've seen, gives you the best final result of anybody.
Well, I think probably the main reason that I joined the IBEW was concerned about retirement. I watched my parents retire, and in the non-union sector I didn't really have any sort of retirement. I had pretty decent pay, but I didn't really have any retirement. So that was probably the main attraction to me.
Headquartered in Colorado Springs, Colorado, IBEW Local 113 accomplishes as an organization what individual tradesmen cannot by themselves. We raise the standard of living for the electrical industry.
Well, you know, collective bargaining's been around as long as our country has. It started, the earliest part of collective bargaining started in Plymouth back in the 1600s. And the craftsmen did that because it would better their position in this country. And that's what collective bargaining is about today. You know, you still need it. If you're a blue-collar worker, that's the only protection you have. That's the only chance you have of getting an even break, is to have a group bargain collectively with the employer. That gives you strength in numbers, and that's the way it should be.
First and foremost, the IBEW exists for the good of its members and signatory contractors. It's a master plan that's working. We're growing in both membership and contractors who depend on us for a solid, professional 848.
I'm going to ask you to please raise your right hand and use your name where I use mine. Repeat the following obligation. I, Bill Campbell, in the presence of members of the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers,
In the presence of members of the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers,
promise and agree to conform to and abide by.
I believe the competitive edge that the IBEW qualified journeyman wireman gives us is he knows the trade, he knows production, he knows tools, he keeps updated, and this allows us to compete on the market and be competitive and still give our customers the final product that they're looking for, and that's quality at a fair price.
I think that any time you walk onto a job site, a union job site, you can see the quality of the people. Clean cut, they're knowledgeable, they're exciting, they're intelligent.
I will bear true allegiance to it.
I will bear true allegiance to it.
And will not sacrifice its interest in any manner.
And will not sacrifice its interest in any manner.
Congratulations.
With the Local 113 collective bargaining agreement, you'll earn $20.65 an hour. When you add the fringe benefit package, these earnings are approximately 40% higher than working for a non-union contractor. This wage and benefit package has been negotiated across the board with our signatory contractors. So regardless of your employer, you'll know what you're making. What the IBEW offers you is a choice. The choice of working for thousands of contractors across the United States and Canada, providing good wages and employer-paid insurance and pension plans. And what many workers don't know is you have the choice of working for your present employer while the IBEW helps you improve your wages and working conditions.
I think the biggest differences I've found from non-union to union is the overall quality of work is much higher. There's not a lot of cutting corners. They do things properly.
In the union sector, I think you have more, we're working under a contract, so you have some sort of protection and some sort of a covering with your employer, where in the non-union, you didn't really feel like you had any rights, or, you know, comes Friday night, you will work Saturday or you're going to be fired. You know, and in the union sector, you had people watching out for you, that concerned about how things are going on the job, and I've liked it a lot better.
Opportunity is the hallmark of the IBEW. We know high-paying jobs don't mean much if none are available, but job security within the union goes hand in hand with the better wage.
It's the best way of life there is on being union. Now try it, go, you know, talk to anybody. We've got a lot of people that's been on both sides. I don't think there's any better way to really make a living.
People that say that you can't stay working as a union member obviously have never done it before. I've been working ever since I moved down to Colorado Springs. I had about a 3-week layoff 2 years ago, but other than that, I've been working steady the whole time, and I see absolutely no reason to believe that that's going to change.
When you're a member of the IBEW, you'll also enjoy first-rate insurance and health benefits, a package paid for by the contractor.
The health benefits, we've had no problem anytime we needed to go to the doctor. We didn't have to worry about the cost. He's been in the hospital once, and we went right in. There was no problem with admitting or worrying about how we were going to pay for that hospital bill. So the benefits have just undoubtedly been a part of it that we couldn't do without now.
Since he's joined the union, I'd say first of all, our medical insurance has been so much better, so much easier to deal with than it was before. I've heard people say things one way or the other, but I'll tell you, if they had to deal with what I did before, this is a piece of cake.
Our Local's health and benefits package is a result of a $2.49 an hour contribution, paid for entirely by the contractor. This comprehensive medical and dental plan covers you and your family. And in our plan, you choose your doctor. We have health coverage for early and disability retirees, surviving widows, and dependent children. Benefits for our workers include both short and long-term disability. If you have an accident, weekly time loss benefits begin on the day of your disability. Again, these are just some of the benefits available to you and your family through the IBEW.
Basically, she costs, what, $10 for the 9-month period that before she was born, visiting her doctor, and the total bill on the hospital stay and the birthing room, total $10. So the best $10 we ever spent, probably.
I mean, if I had to pay for my own insurance like a non-union electrician has to, you know, that'd be $400 or $500 a month out of my pocket for insurance that I don't have to pay, that the contractor picks up as part of a negotiated package. My wages are good enough, all the bills get paid, and I have money in the bank.
I had some non-union employers that would pay for my insurance, but if I wanted my wife covered on the plan, I'd have to pay $30 a week for that. If I wanted to add a child onto the plan, it could cost up $50 a week, and it just, the more children you have, the more they'd charge you. And that's a week, not a month. You know, it adds up to a lot of money. With this, if I have 10 kids, they're all covered.
Well, maybe not 10.
Education and training offered through the IBEW and NECA only enhances your situation as a valued, employable electrician. The IBEW, together with NECA, the National Electrical Contractors Association, developed the Joint National Apprenticeship Program, a 5-year apprenticeship school. Your involvement in this program means you'll have direct control over your own earning power.
Certainly, the primary goal of the JATC is to produce quality, competent people that can perform work in a timely fashion, be very competitive, be very professional, and be proud of what they are, and be able to carry on and make a career of it for some years to come.
Our program has been turning apprentices into journeymen for more than 60 years and is #1 in the world. We also offer journeyman upgrading in National Electrical Code, fiber optics, programmable and motor controls, and many other courses designed to help you keep pace with the ever-changing technology of the electrical profession.
I've had the opportunity to see the non-union workforce in action, and I've always been involved in the union side, and no holds barred. There is no comparison between the two. The IBEW offers much more thorough training. You just end up with a better education and the equivalent of a college education by the end of your program.
The industry is constantly changing from pipe and wire, you might say, to the high tech. The different projects that come along require different tools and instruments, and of course along with that comes training. And again, I'll have to say, I think our advantage is we do have trained people with continuous education, and that gives us another edge on the competitive market.
It's amazing when you think how far this industry has come since 1913. When my grandfather started our business, he had no idea whether or not this electric thing was going to work or not. A lot of other people were concerned about the future of electricity. You look at today's technology and the fields that are opening up to electrical contractors, it's just absolutely amazing.
Local 113 has a long and proud tradition of organizing and representing electrical workers, and the dues workers pay come back to them many times over.
Dues, I think, are very well worth it. It was a stumbling block for me, and it is a stumbling block for a lot of non-union electricians, because they're looking at very short-term gains or losses, like I did at a time before I really became informed of the facts. I can pay dues and still come out ahead as far as take-home pay, money in your pocket, and long-term benefits. And I would gladly pay those dues for the return that I get in my long-term benefits.
I would say that the dues are very much within line. I don't really even notice it. It's not even significant to me as far as my paycheck. Doesn't really affect it that much.
The dues are a part of the union process, which I think we all need. Somebody tried to tell me that the wages, after we pay dues, that we're making as much as the non-union people or something like that. But what they don't understand is that the non-union people aren't getting the benefits that we are, the retirement, the annuity, the pension plans, the whole thing that goes with those dues. I feel the dues are necessary, and I'm happy to pay my dues.
With the skills and training one receives as a member of the IBEW, it's no wonder our members enjoy long and prosperous careers as electricians. Our pension plans ensure that when your days out in the workforce are over, you're set to enjoy the type of lifestyle you so richly deserve.
You know, when we're young, we don't think we're ever going to get old. And it's good to have, you wake up in the morning with satisfaction. You know that you got that health care there, and you got a check coming in, two or three checks every month, in which you can live on, and you can live a quality, a meaningful life, because of what the union has done in their infinite wisdom, the leadership, to create these kinds of programs.
Well, one of my main concerns when I joined the union was I thought I might be too old because I joined when I was 40 years old. And I thought, well, I'm probably too old to really realize any of the benefits of the pensions. I thought you had to join when you're 20 years old and go through the apprenticeship program to really realize the full potential of the benefits. And I found out that like I said, I joined when I was 40 years old, and I can work another 20 years, and I'll be probably making more than I'm on retirement than I'm making working every day right now.
I don't know where else that you can make as much money on your retirement as you did when you was working. So I think it's been very good.
Oh, the IBEW, as far as I'm concerned, I came in here non-union in 1969, if I remember properly. And I came in here, and the retirement that I've gotten out of that is just unreal. It's basically, it's as much money as I was making when I was working.
Members entering the union today will receive local pension benefits of more than $4,600 a month. When added to the National Electrical Benefit Fund of more than $780 a month, and an average of more than $1,135 in IBEW and Social Security pensions, local journeymen will retire in 30 years with more than $6,500 a month, which translates into more than $78,000 a year in retirement income. In addition, your IBEW 8th District 401k plan, a plan paid into by your employer, would amount to at least another $250,000 by the time you're ready to hang up the tools.
The great thing, when I retired and I got my first Social Security check and my pension checks, I got as much money a month as it was when I was working with the tools. So that sounded pretty good to me.
And without the union and without unions, think of what the lot of the working man would be. We know what it was 200 or 300 years ago. So you've got to have an organization of some kind to negotiate, to do a little representing of the individual. The individual doesn't have a chance.
But it's individuals bonding together that gives strength to our cause. A strength that is recognizable, unmistakable. A strength born of pride with a sense of professionalism and purpose. A strength evident on the faces of each and every union member who makes us what we are today.
The first union job I went on, I was welcomed with open arms. They treated me real well, they respected me, and I had absolutely no problems.
I was a bit apprehensive my first day on a union job, but I had worked white ticket before in Chicago in the late 70s, so I had a general idea of what was going to happen and what was required of me. I was really pleasantly surprised. I thought it would be a struggle that I was non-union, now I am union, and they're going to teach me the union way that I'm supposed to handle myself. But they just accepted me, and we moved on, and I've never looked back.
Yeah, he was really worried at first about being accepted. He was afraid, that they'd all single him out as the new guy trying to come into their union, but he's just fit right in. And
I can go from one job to another, or work for one company and go to work for another union company. And when I walk onto the job, there is a sense of brotherhood in that I'm not treated as an outsider or a newcomer onto the job. I'm treated as part of a large group, the IBEW.
Yeah, whether we're union or not, I think we all have the same goals. It's been my experience with the people I've talked to that we're just out there trying to make a living and provide for our families. I really think that Local 113 is the place you can achieve those types of goals. So if you're out there wondering if that's a decision for you and you've got some questions about it, why not just drop down and see if it would be a good fit for you. We want you to be comfortable with your decision, and we want you to make your decision based on the best information you possibly can have.
we're very glad we joined the IBEW. We wouldn't be where we are today. We would be just in the same old rut had he not joined the IBEW.
$14,000 a year in Texas. Nope, can't do it again. Won't do it again. Not after being in the Brotherhood.
To me, the IBEW is the only way to go. I worked about 10 years in non-union shops, and it didn't seem like I was going anywhere. So I decided if I wanted to retire and if I wanted to make something of my life, I better get in somewhere where we had some opportunities.
It's made my life a heck of a lot easier when I don't have to deal with insurance problems. I'm the one that has to deal with that stuff and insurance problems and benefits, and they've just, and I think it has a, like he's mentioned, a greater sense of security in that he's not going to just get tossed out as soon as the job's done, that there is a better sense that he'll be around, you know, longer, working longer, so that we won't be having to face those layoff days type of thing.
I really can't see myself not being a IBEW member. My father was a member for 36 years. My grandfather was a union carpenter. My other grandfather was a union iron worker. So I was brought up union. I know the benefits of being in the union, and I can't see myself being anything but a union electrician.
After all, it's the working men and women of our country. This country belongs to us because we built it. We built it.
25 years in the IBEW. You think I'm not proud of it? Check this out.
Want to know more about the IBEW? Call our office at 719-633-3872, or feel free to stop by our office anytime. We're located at 414 West Pikes Peak Avenue in Colorado Springs. Thank you.